By a show of hands, how many of you drive a car? Your mom's car. Okay. How many of you guys like traffic? Good. How many of you, traffic makes you upset? I'd like to tell you a story that my teacher told me one day when she was in traffic. She was driving on I-4, and along behind her comes this guy, speeding right on her tail the whole way. She switched the lane, he switched with her on her tail. And she started getting upset, like, what is this guy doing? She eventually slows down, the guy drives next to her, and then he cuts her off. And this lady's just mad. What are you doing? And so she gets the thought that she's gonna do exactly what the guy did to her, where she follows on his tail, switches lanes, stops, whatever. And all of a sudden, that guy stops out of nowhere, and she crashes into him. And she gets this idea that it was his fault. So she screams, "Hey, what was that for?" And she gets out the car, and the guy doesn't get out of his car. He just sits on the steering wheel doing this, like he's urgent. She walks up to the car, and she sees the guy, and to the passenger seat, it's laid down, completely flat. And as she's walking up, she sees the guy, and he says, "It's okay, you crashed into me. Can I just go?" Because in that passenger seat, there was a kid with a red towel wrapped around his head. And she starts to realize it's not a red towel. It's a white towel with blood on it. The guy was rushing to the hospital because his kid just busted his head open. And after that, the lady said, "I'm so sorry." She backed up and she let him go. She told me that, and I said, "Man, you must have felt really bad." And she said, "I did." Moral of the story is, as we go through the week in our lives, shouldn't be so quick to assume, to criticize, but we need to focus more on lifting up. If you will, turn to your Bibles to Matthew 7, verses 3. It says, "And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye and do not consider the plank in your own eye?" We see here that we should be focusing on us more than others first. I want to give another point in Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. It says, "And let us consider one in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as in a manner some, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as we shall see the day approaching." In this verse, we see that we are to exhort and lift up. And through the week, I want to challenge you from here to Sunday until I want you to think that when you start to get upset with somebody, just think about how they feel in their shoes and what could be going on with them. Because we don't know. And if you see somebody that's just sad or you know they made a mistake, instead from watching afar and being sort of judgmental, go up to them and say, "It's okay. We're all human." If you're not a Christian and you'd like to be, we all would be willing and encouraging you to come forward. Or if you're already a Christian and you just need the prayers of the church, it's always love here. No one's here to put you down. So if we can help you in any way, please come forward as we stand and as we sing.